Hi everyone, how are you? Today's video is a review of the Cumulus home steamer from Steamery. Last year, I bought the Creases No. 3 iron steamer, which is also from Steamery, and since then I've used it on lots of different things in my home, including my cushions, my drapes, my bedding, my clothing, the list goes on. So naturally, I was curious about the Cumulus home steamer as well, because it's so different from the handheld steamer and it has some other qualities and it can be used for different purposes. And I just really wanted to explore that, so here we are. Last year, I also made a video review of the Creases No. 3 iron steamer from Steamery, and I also made a review of their Pilo fabric shaver and their lid brush. And if you're interested in checking that out, you can find the links for both videos down below in the description box. So the Cumulus home steamer comes in a big black box. True to Steamery's style, the packaging is pretty and minimalistic, just as the products. In the box, you'll find the water tank, the different parts used to assemble the steamer, which include a hanger for your clothing and a hook for the steamer head. You'll also find a heat-resistant protective glove and the manual. And I found it pretty easy and fast to assemble because it doesn't consist of that many parts, so that's super simple. Now that it's assembled, let's take a look at how it works. First, you need to fill up the water tank with distilled water, or that actually depends on how hard the water is where you live. If it's hard, like it is in Denmark where I live, you should only use distilled water. I usually buy distilled water at the hardware store because it's cheap and comes in big bottles, but Steamery also offers their own distilled water, but that's of course more expensive. When filling the tank, be careful not to overfill it. If we take a look down here, you can see that there are two options when it comes to how hot you want your steamer to be. I found that unless we're talking about extremely creased clothing, the lowest level should be enough. When it's heated, the steam will start coming out of it. A big difference between the Cumulus steamer and the Creases No. 3 iron steamer is that with the Cumulus steamer, you won't have to push a button in order for the steam to come out. The steam just keeps coming, which also means that you have to be careful not to burn yourself while working with it. So make sure to wear the protective glove at all times when steaming because there's a lot of steam coming out. I decided to try it out on a plain white shirt. As you can see, it's not super creased, but it's nowhere near smooth either, so I prefer to steam from the outside as well as from the inside because I found that doing it like that works best for me. There is so much steam coming out of it. I love it. It makes steaming multiple pieces of clothing super fast and easy, and I really like that. It also removes the creases effectively. So this is what it looks like after only a few minutes of steaming. It makes such a big difference and it's so quick. So what I want to do now is I want to list some pros and cons for you about this product. And in this process of listing pros and cons, I want to compare this product to the Creases No. 3 iron steamer. It's the one that you see right there. But as I said in the beginning of this video, these two products are very different from each other, but at the same time, they can both be used for steaming clothes, and actually with the Cumulus home steamer, that is its primary function. It is for clothing specifically, and the handheld steamer can also be used for clothing, but it's a lot more mobile because it's smaller and you can just plug it in wherever and it's easy to move, and it has a really long cord. You don't really have that option with the home steamer because it's so big and bulky compared to the handheld steamer. So I want to start with the cons, and the first one is that Obviously, this is a very big steamer compared to the handheld steamer. It's pretty big. It takes up some space and you have to have that space available. Otherwise, it just doesn't make sense to get it. So this product might not be ideal for everyone, and those people should probably go for a handheld steamer instead. It's expensive, just like the Sears No. 3 iron steamer. It's expensive. That's how it is. So I was lucky enough to find mine on sale, but at the same time, I also want to say that in general, these bigger steamers are more expensive than the smaller handheld steamers. And this one is, I'd say that it's probably in the middle of the price range. You can definitely find steamers that are more expensive than this one, but at the same time, you can also find steamers that are a bit cheaper. So now I want to move on to the pros, and I think the most important one with this product is that you don't have to keep pushing the button to let out steam. With the Sears No. 3 iron steamer, you actually have to keep pushing the button in order to let out steam. And I've had some comments from people saying that it's very frustrating because it kind of ends up hurting your hand and it's just not very comfortable. So that obviously means it's way more comfortable to use, and it also makes it possible to use it for a longer period of time. So if you have like 4 or 5 pieces of clothing that you want to steam in the same session, you can actually do that with this one without your hand feeling totally sore. So that is definitely a big plus. It's also nowhere near as heavy as the Sears No. 3 iron steamer because the water tank is standing on the floor. So it's actually a lot easier and a lot more handy to work with if your main purpose is steaming clothing and not textiles or bedding or drapes. But of course, it can also be used to steam home textiles. It's just that the Cumulus home steamer is a lot more bulky to move around, but it can definitely be done. And it also has a really big water tank, which is super nice because that means you don't have to refill it all the time after steaming just like one shirt, because that is unfortunately what you have to do if you get the handheld steamer. The water tank on the Sears No. 3 iron steamer is usually empty after steaming one piece of clothing. What I also really love is that there's a protective glove included when you buy the steamer. It's in the box with all the other things, and I find that super cool because you can really burn your fingers a lot if you don't have that kind of tool. I'm just super happy when something is already included because then I don't have to think about getting it separately, and that's just kind of a relief, I think. Because of all the steam coming out of this, it's super effective at removing creases. I've never seen anything like it with the Sears No. 3 iron steamer. Not that that one's a bad steamer, because it definitely works as well. I just don't think it's as fast and effective. It definitely takes longer for me to steam a shirt with the Sears No. 3 iron steamer compared to when I'm using the Cumulus home steamer. So if you're looking for something that's fast and effective, I would definitely buy the Cumulus home steamer any day over the Sears No. 3 iron steamer if I were to use it primarily for clothing at home. And lastly, the design. It is no secret that I love Steamery for their minimalistic and beautifully designed products as much as I love them for making high quality products that help me care for my home and my clothing. So overall, this is a product that I can't recommend enough. If you're interested in learning more about this product, I've placed a link down below in the description. And then all there's left to say is thank you for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more interior and lifestyle content and more reviews. And I will have a new video for you again very soon.